We're about 12 hours removed from the Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers trade going down, and I don't think it's this thing that Bears fans need to be flipping out about as much as they are. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Plus, we're going to talk about what the X factor of this team is and what Ben Johnson believes could be one of the biggest strengths of this team. We're going to into all that plus the mailbag right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. And some of y'all been tripping. Some of y'all been flipping out. We got a voicemail from K2 we're going to get into it with. But this thing with Micah Parsons going to the Green Bay Packers, and now Bears fans looking at it as some huge miss by Ryan Poles. Oh my God, Ryan Poles, XYZ. No, like, here's the thing. The Green Bay Packers gave up 2 first-round picks and a defensive lineman to get Micah Parsons on top of paying him $45 million. That's not going to happen here. The Bears are not at the place yet to be giving up multiple first-round picks for Micah Parsons is great. Make no mistake about it at all. None. Make no mistake about it at all. But the fact of the matter is that this Bears team has way too many question marks right now to even be attempting to give up multiple first-round picks. Now, I was more open to the Trey Hendrickson, conversation. Yes, he's still looking to get paid as well, but I was more open to that. Because you weren't giving up as much draft capital. But we have way too many question marks. We may have to find a new safety. We don't know what's going on with Jaquan Brisker. And either way, we may have to find a replacement for Kevin Byard. The left tackle position, we shall see, right? We got to see how that's going to continue to develop. Yes, Audrey Shapillo's in the wings. Theo Benedict looked good. Braxton Jones is probably still going to be the starter, but there's still a huge question there. Running back. A major question on this team as it stands right now, right? Some of y'all still have questions about the quarterback position. Defensive end, yes, it's definitely something that we need to address. Make no mistake about it. Losing Austin Booker does suck for a player to a knee injury where, we were hoping that he was going to be able to come in and really hit this ground running when it comes down to that. The linebacker position, we don't know who our middle linebacker is. Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds has looked solid so far under the new coaching staff and Dennis Allen. But the fact of the matter is, we could be needing a new starting caliber linebacker. Yeah, you got Ruben Hippolyte in the wings. Yeah, Noah Sewell's look pretty good. We know TJ Edwards is a monster, but no, I don't think you're at a place there where you're sure that that's just your rotation going forward into the future. That's a potential question going into this as well, right? And so, with all those questions up in air with this Chicago Bears team, we are not at the position to be able to give up multiple first-round picks, and I thought we were all kind of in alignment. I feel like, personally, that a lot of the reaction is because he went to the Packers, and now, you have Bears fans thinking, oh, well, we had to make this move to keep the Packers from doing it. Guess what? The Packers were going to be better than the Bears, more than likely. Of course, we're going to see, and they're still going to be that. But look at what the Packers did last year, right? Was it a desperation move to the Packers? Yeah. Guess what? He went to the Dallas Cowboys of the NFC North. That's the Green Bay Packers. They're a team that's going to win some regular season games, but they still got a lot to show that they can prove to go on any type of actual playoff run. It doesn't fix the inconsistencies with Jordan Love. We'll see how that comes over the course of the season. Again, not to say that I'm not worried about it, not to say that Micah Parsons can't absolutely light the Bears up, but it's not this thing where it's now all of a sudden this huge indictment on Ryan Poles that he let Micah Parsons go to the Green Bay Packers because he didn't make the trade instead. That's just my personal opinion. I know the guys went live on it yesterday. I was in the middle of family stuff. I couldn't get to it. But to me, it's this thing where I get it. We live in a constant state of action and reaction as Bears fans. We've been reactionary for so long because this franchise has put us in a situation where we have to be reactionary as much as we are. But I'm not looking at this as a thing that, don't get me wrong. If the Bears would have got Micah Parsons, it would have been a great move. But it wouldn't have all of a sudden made us some contender. We still have tons of questions that hopefully some of those are going to be answered over the course of the season. But we'll see what comes out of that where it does. But it's just seeing some of the reactions from this is just like, hey, man, y'all need to chill a little bit. It's going to be okay. It is what it is, right? And, for those that are like, oh, what if they put him on Braxton Jones? Yeah, that's definitely a concern. Make no mistake about it. But like the Bears have so much that we need to continue to figure out as a team. And I kind of warned you guys in this, even in the offseason where some of the conversations came up. The Bears aren't at a position where they're going to give up that level of capital for where the team currently is. That's just the reality of it. So take that for what you will. With that said, let's move into the next topic for today, man. Ben Johnson talked a little bit about the Bears and what he feels the team's biggest strength is. And of course, it goes to that interior offensive line, saying this: I do think the strength of our team that I felt over the course of training camp is probably going to be up front. I say that not from the flash players, but I think the depth that we have both on the offensive line and defensive line, those are both areas you don't just play your starting 4 or 5. You end up playing a good 8, 9, or 10 guys over the course of the season. The depth that we have at those 2 spots is really going to play dividends for us here this year. Now, this is an interesting quote to come out, especially after the Micah Parsons trade, that Ben Johnson feels apparently very strong about the trenches for the Chicago Bears and the depth that they have at the trenches. And it's just one of those things where the head coach has a different opinion than where a lot of Bears fans are. After the Austin Booker, we went live. I was live on the Austin Booker injury news when that dropped. And, people were like, oh my God, we need to go get another defensive tackle. We need this. We need that. Dominique Robinson's here. But it seems like the Bears do have that. When you look at our frontline rotation, Javon Dexter, Andrew Billings backing him up, Dayo Odeyingbo, Dominique Robinson that you have there. You have Grady Jarrett, Shamar Turner, Chris Williams. Those guys are going to be there for that defensive tackle. Montez Sweat got Daniel Hardy and Austin Booker when he gets back, he's been placed on IR. He's not going to be back at least till week 6. That's because we have a bye week in week 5. We'll get him time. But, he'll probably, if you were overly positive on his season, there's a lot of reasons to believe that that's going to continue for him for sure. And Austin Booker's going to continue that path. He's going to come back, 13 games left to be played. So there you go on that one. So he's confident in that. And the trenches is definitely improved. Having Grady Jarrett there is definitely improved. We need to get Shamar Turner back from injury, but I do think his big body is going to help there as well. But you got Big Billings. Billings was a guy that we saw the production of the defensive line drop off once he went down. Now you're using him as a swing defensive tackle, right? So he's still going to have those opportunities here. And I get where Ben Johnson, but a lot of it is going to have to come down to show and prove. They're going to have to prove that they can consistently get enough pressure, whereas Bears fans have a lot of doubt in that right now. So Ben Johnson has some confidence where Bears fans have doubt in. And that dichotomy between the two is going to be really interesting to watch which one plays out and wins out over the course of the season. But then you look at the offensive line. I've been talking a lot about the depth or lack thereof of the offensive line basically since we started, this offseason period. And I will say that I've gotten a little bit more confident in it, but I'm still have my questions about it. Left tackle, you got Braxton Jones with Ozzie Trapillo being the swing tackle to back him up. Theo Benedict's going to get in there at some left tackle as well. You got Joe Tooney at the left guard with Luke Newman backing him up. You got Drew Dahman at center. And we'll see what happens there with him and his backup. You got Jonah Jackson. Ryan Bates has been a pretty solid backup as it stands out as well. So you have some depth there. Karen Amagaje is going to play some guard, some tackle, and those type of things are going to be there. So you have depth. The question is how good is that depth going to be able to perform, and how consistently are they going to be able to do it? That's where the questions lay in at for the Chicago Bears. And, we'll see. We'll see how it happens. I'm glad to hear that Ben Johnson has confidence in the trenches because, as we said multiple times before, is that you typically aren't necessarily a really good team unless you have that production in the trenches. Really good teams usually have good trenches work. And so, for a team that's trying to come up and make that next step, the Bears getting that work in the trenches is going to be important to see how that plays out for the Bears the rest of the season. So I'm not as confident as Ben Johnson is, but I am glad that Ben Johnson is confident. And like I've been saying for the most part of this offseason, I'm going to trust this coaching staff. This is where my confidence does is I have trust in the coaching staff. And if this was what the depth of the coaching staff is feeling confident about, and they feel like they have the right mix and rotation of guys, I'm gonna ride with that until I see otherwise. And then when I see otherwise, You guys know me. I love all sports. I watch every single sport out there, from Major League Baseball to NBA to NHL, everything. And for this upcoming sports season, I have teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook, and they got a special offer for you guys. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 instantly in bonus bets. That's $300 instantly in bonus bets. All you got to do is use my code. That's Bear Central. You're on the channel right now watching this, so you know the name of the channel. Just type in Bear Central using that promo code. They get you $300 instantly in bonus bets. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has you covered. Bet on live in-game progress games right as they happen. And if sports betting isn't even available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have a shot to win cash prizes. They make it so easy on you guys. I don't know what else to say. All you got to do is go over to DraftKings, use the code Bear Central, and they got you guys covered. Tell them Haize sent you. It may not be Haize that comes for you. It may be Teddy Roosevelt that comes for you at that point in time. And if that happens, God help you. God help you. And just like the Bears need help with this team, we're going to see where this team goes this upcoming year. But with that said, we're going to get into the mailbag. Before we do have to get into a message from DraftKings.
What's going on, guys? Darius from Dallas, man. Just want to call in and give my thoughts on what seems to be our reality, as much as I don't like it, that Braxton Jones is going to be our starting left tackle. I mean, I don't understand where it went wrong per se with Trapillo, I guess, is my only thing. Like when I saw him, you know, I went back and I watched every snap from all the preseason games. I didn't really see him get beat too often. I'm just not, but you can go back and you can watch Braxton Jones get beat inside, getting bull rushed, just like he did last year. So I'll say this, because I am a little bit kind of like how you are, Haize, in the sense of I'm going to trust Dan Rashar until I have a reason not to. If we trusted Morgan's sorry ass for all those years, we can trust Dan Rashar and give him the benefit of the doubt right out of the gate. But I will say this, if you're going to make the decision to stick with Braxton, you better be fucking right. That's all I'm going to say. Because that's going to look not only bad on Dan Rashar, but that's going to look bad on Poles. Because Ryan, you are a former offensive lineman at GM, and you took a couple swings at left tackle right out of the gate and it didn't work out. You went for Braxton Jones instead of drafting one earlier. And you know, he's got a lot of faith in Braxton for some reason or another. Maybe he sees something that we don't see. And then you went and you spent another high draft pick on Ozzie Trapillo. So you spent 2 draft picks on a lineman for us to, you know, have a swing tackle and a guy that we're not too sure about at left tackle. You know, that's something that I say I'm going to trust Dan Rashar for now, but, Braxton Jones cannot be the reason we lose games anymore. That just cannot happen. I'm not going through the Charles Leno experience again with him where we say, oh, well, you know, he's not bad, so let's keep him. No, we got to stop accepting mediocrity out of this offensive line. At some point, we have to stop. But yeah, man, also, shout out to Ian Willard, man, my guy. I think they're going to cut him, or maybe they already did cut him. You know, I guess I somewhat get it. But I really felt like that he had a lot to offer this team, and I was kind of excited, looking forward to him. But best of luck to him, man, wherever he lands, or if he decides to go the doctor route. Yeah, but let me know what y'all think about that, man. Texas up, bear down.
All right. So with that said, let's get into the mailbag for today, man. This first voicemail that we got, this one's from Darius. Yeah, I mean, I share your concerns, Darius. Braxton Jones being the starting left tackle is a big concern. And you know, overall, it's like you said, that we've seen a lot of the same things that have plagued Braxton Jones literally for his entirety here. The bull rush is still a problem for him. The penalties have been trending down over the course of that, but it's just that the anchor is still a problem. Like, all those things are still an issue when it comes to Braxton Jones. But I'm trusting Dan Rashar, and I'm trusting him. And as me and Bobby talked about yesterday, it's not just trusting Dan Rashar that Braxton Jones is all of a sudden going to be great, but it's trusting Dan Rashar is that if Braxton Jones is not living up to the standard and the expectation that we have and need at that left tackle position, that they will make a move and take a look at another guy. That's where the trust relies in Dan Rashar, Declan Doyle, and Ben Johnson. It's not to say that everything that they do is automatically going to work out on the surface level, but it's that I'm going to trust them to where if it's not working out, they're going to make the right decisions and not stick to that and pivot off of it to give the Bears a different mix, to look at things. That's what I'm going to trust. Because like you said, we can't keep taking a bare minimum at the offensive line. You have to be engaged on that offensive line if you want to win football games. And so hopefully that's the thing that comes along for this team, that they're able to lock in, that he's able to bring it, because if he does, and regardless, they just find the right guy at that left tackle position over the course of the season, that definitely is going to help Caleb, is going to help this team, is going to help the running game, is going to help us be the team that we hope that we can be. So let's hope that shakes out. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from Seven.
Peace and blessings. What's good? It's your boy Seven, Inglewood's on right now. Gets on, and I got like 3 questions for you, so I'll try to be quick. So let's just say Caleb Williams doesn't do what they expect him to do, numeric, with his numbers and all that, and maybe he does, similar or even lower numbers than last year. Do you think he'll actually do you think there's any credence to what Ryan Clark said about him getting the Anthony Richardson treatment? And personally, with that, I would wonder why it is that when black quarterbacks do poorly, they're compared to other black quarterbacks who've done poorly, like other white quarterbacks ain't did poorly. But when they do well, they're compared to white quarterbacks. Anyway, so there's that. But secondly, I was just wondering, with the roster now being set, have you all, the 5 of y'all, thought about doing a show where you compare what you said or what you predicted the roster was going to be to what it actually is, to see who, was the best guess accountant? I don't know. I just think that'll kind of be some good content. And lastly, Haize, I think you said you played running back. I'm just kind of curious where you played at. I used to play up there. Shout out to Hubbard. I know I got you a couple of years. I played up at Hubbard, and before going to Grambling and then going to Missouri, and tried out for the Bears for a minute before hamstring took me out, and I ended up playing semi-pro for a couple of years. But yeah, I'm just curious. When your playing stopped. Because mine didn't stop till I was up there. But anyway, love y'all content. Y'all do your thing, man. Shout out to Bear Down. Peace.
Seven, I think when it comes down to it, Caleb is going to be the starter here for a while. I'm not worried about what any national media pundit says about comparing him to Richardson or anybody else. And I will say the leash sometimes for quarterbacks and black quarterbacks is a little bit less, as far as you don't get as long to kind of work through and go through your mistakes. But I think that there's some of that for the quarterback position in the modern NBA, NFL anyway. But they are going to give Caleb Williams time. Now, I'm not saying that means if he looks horrible. Let's be clear. Caleb Williams had almost over 4,000 yards from scrimmage last year. He's going to, the numbers weren't terrible. The sacks were there. We didn't get the touchdowns that we wanted. There were clearly times where he was trying to avoid throwing to keep that interception thing going. But we got to stop talking about it as if Caleb had a terrible rookie year or if it's only good for a Bears rookie year. No, he had a solid rookie season considering all the things that were up and down, the turmoil with that team. Now we got stability as a team, and we need to see stability from Caleb Williams. That's what we need to see, and we'll see how that shakes out for this team overall, right? As far as me and my career, I played 3 different high schools, Italy, Germany, and St. Louis. But yeah, I didn't go after that. I hurt my knee. Focused on my son was born when I was 19 and focused on my family at that point in time. So I wanted to try to go semi-pro, but I'm more so focused on family at that point. So there you go. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from Ant.
Hey, what up, fellas? This is Ant, the Army vet. Just giving my thoughts on the 53-man roster. I'm not going to say I was shocked that Tyler Scott got cut. I was hoping he would get picked up on the 53. I like Tyler Scott. He just didn't get a chance is what my opinion was. And then in the preseason, he had a really good preseason. Him and Jahade Walker, to me, had a similar preseason. If you don't believe me, go look at games 1 and 2. Tyler Scott was big in those games. He was making some good catches, running his routes right. Jahade Walker, in games 2 and 3, he stood out a little bit more. But I thought Tyler Scott would make it over Jahade only because I feel that Tyler Scott is stronger on special teams than Jahade. That's why I thought Tyler Scott would make it. He didn't make it. Oh, well, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I trust his coaching staff. And I'm saying I trust his coaching staff because, to me, in my opinion, Dom Robb, he hasn't done anything either. To me, he's the Tyler Scott on defense along with Zach Pickens. Because what has he done in the last 3 seasons? He's done the same thing that Tyler Scott has. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I was shocked that he made the team. But like I said, I'm going to trust his coaching staff. And if Dennis Allen and Al Harris and the D-line coach say that, like, you know, he's gonna be one of their men, and I'm gonna trust that he's gonna be one of them dudes. And I'm hoping that, you know what I'm saying, we get to where we need to be this season, and not saying we're gonna be in the playoffs or anything like that. I'm talking about get to being a competent football team. I want us to win. I just want a winning team. I don't care who they pick. I'm gonna trust this coaching staff to get the men that they need to get to where they gotta go. I was just listening to the Daily Show that Haize was talking about Caleb Williams and all the criticism that he's gonna have this season. Also, to me, here's my take on anybody criticizing Caleb Williams. As a Chicago Bears fan, I don't care which era of Chicago Bears fan you are, you have no right to critique a quarterback that is in his second year, because we've never had a quarterback that we knew looked good consistently. We've seen highlights, we've seen other games of other quarterbacks, but we in Chicago, we haven't had that. You know what I mean? So we can say we want him to look like that person or this QB, or if he can do this, that, and the third. But, like, how about him looking like him in this new coaching system? You know what I mean? It's a reason why he was picked number one. He's a special kid. The reason why he got sacked 68 times and played all 17 games. He's a durable kid. Let the kid, you know what I'm saying, develop in this new coaching system. That's my take on it. I hope he do, because that's my quarterback. I love this team. I just want to know what you guys think about it. You know, Chi-Town up, bear down. Y'all have a good one.
Tyler Scott, I mean, here's the way that I look at it, Ed, is that Tyler Scott did not make into the rotation where we had weak wide receiver rooms. The wide receiver room is now stronger. And I hear you saying that, oh, well, he wasn't given a chance. To me, I look at it as he didn't earn a chance. And even if you do look at him and Jahade Walker's all preseasons as being similar, it's the fact that Jahade Walker is even being compared to a 3-year NFL veteran as an undrafted rookie free agent. And so I think that's why you go with Jahade Walker over Tyler Scott. There are other reasons, size, route running. There are other reasons for that also. Tyler Scott, like I said, the way I look at it is that he didn't earn a role in this time. He had 3 years to do it. He didn't do it. And so now you sit in a place where an undrafted rookie came in, and even I think he outperformed, but even if you say that he wanted to be on the same level as Tyler Scott, an undrafted rookie free agent should not be on the same level as you as a 3-year vet. So I think that's where you go with that one. As far as Dominique Robinson, he's here for depth to me. I'm not too worried about it. You know, the Bears, they showed the signs of it. Dennis Allen talked glowingly about him. Ben Johnson talked glowingly about it. So when it came to him making the final roster, I really wasn't surprised by it because of how this coaching staff has talked about him in this offseason period. So that was my opinion there. And as far as criticism comes with the position. I don't think any player is above criticism. So I'm not going to say that people can't criticize Caleb Williams, but to me, it's not this. Some of this is reached outside of football criticism. Some of this has gotten to a point of dumbassery, just to be 100% frank. Dumbassery and stupidity is where some of this has gotten to. And so at the end of the day, like that also comes with the territory and position, but it's up to Caleb to silence those guys. And let's hope he does it this season. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from K2.
Man, y'all, bro, I'm not going to even lie, man. Y'all probably know what I'm about to say. Everybody probably calling in to talk about it. But I just want to say one thing about it, man. Green Bay just traded for Micah Parsons for 2 first-rounders and a defensive tackle. That's it. I'm sorry, bro, but I normally don't bash Pose about any of the moves he makes because I feel like he makes good moves as a GM. But this one made him look soft, man. I'm not going to lie, bro. Yeah, he probably leveraging the capital correctly. Yeah, he probably looking at the future correctly. But we had a chance, and we had the draft picks. We had it, bro. We had it and they could have found a way to pay Micah Parsons, bro, and got it all back, bro. They needed to make that pairing, and they just couldn't pull it off, bro. Like, I'm sorry. This one right here gonna haunt us, bro. Like, I'm all for FGB, but I don't even know if it's even a point to even say that right now, bro. And I ain't completely just giving up on my team. I'm just saying, bro, this is kind of heartbreaking, bro, to sit back and watch this happen to us when we had a chance to grab him. I don't care what our salary cap is, bro. They should have figured it out. Green Bay ain't got the best salary cap, bro. Like, they got high contracts over there, I'm sure, bro. They just paid this dude 4 years, $188 million, bro. I'm just hoping that Dingbo or whatever his name is, bro, I'm hoping he can just give us production at this point, bro. We got all these injuries that's happening on our defense, man. I still believe in Ben Johnson. I still believe our offense is going to be prolific. I don't doubt our offense once, man, but I always felt like our defense just needed some type of edge, bro. And I didn't think they were going to bring Micah Parsons in or nothing like that, bro. But just to see this happen like this and go to Green Bay out of all places, man, now I know my homie ain't going to stop talking about them cheese heads now, man. Fuck! But anyways, man, I hope y'all having a good weekend, man. I just wanted to call in and just give my thoughts on this real quick, man. I know I sound devastated and heartbroken, but C-Dub, I ain't gave up yet, C-Dub. But this one hurt, big dog. And y'all know what it is, man. Chicago up, bear down.
Here's the thing. I'll say this, K2, is that saying, oh, that's it, to 2 first-round picks, that is crazy a little bit in my opinion, K2. And listen, and this isn't a shock. K2, y'all know I love K2. But K2 he's a reactionary fan, as we all are. And there's a reason why as fans, we don't make the decisions. So, for example, saying that you don't care about salary cap, that's a luxury we have as fans. That's not a luxury that a GM has. You do have to think about the salary cap. And giving up 2 future assets, major day one future assets, and $45 million in salary before you even know if you're a playoff team, that's not smart business to me. So no, I don't look at this as Ryan Poles got something to answer. He failed the city or failed Chicago because he let Micah Parsons go to Green Bay. I don't view it that way at all. I view it as, guess what? The Bears aren't in a place. Now, you can say that, oh, well, Ryan Poles is part of the reason we're not in a place to make that trade. That's a conversation that I'm willing to happen. But the fact that where we are now and in reality with where this team is, no, Micah Parsons trade was not where the Bears needed to be, should be, and giving up that, it's not where we are right now. So that's my perspective on it. Everybody's entitled to their own, but, that's just how I feel. All right, let's get into the last voicemail, man. This one's from Milton.
Hey, Chicago Bears Central, them Cognac boys. It's Milton the Dark Knight coming from Virginia Beach once again. Hope all is well, and congratulations on y'all making $20K on YouTube and everything. Continue success, brothers. Keep doing your thing over there. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. Man, it just seems like the closer we get to the season, more and more injuries pop up. I know that's part of the nature of the beast of being a professional athlete, but man, these injuries, especially like Jaquan Brisker and a lot of the other guys on the team and everything, it's just, it's starting to be a bit concerning now. All I can say is I'm still glad that we got the coaching staff that we got, and I just pray for those guys to get healed up. Hopefully, a lot of them that are hurt, hopefully they will be healed up before the season opener on Monday night against the Vikings. And if not, just the ones, the season-ending ones, we still keep them in prayers. But other than that, I saw your episode earlier about them asking were the coaches being too hard on Caleb. But this is my answer to that. Gone are the days that this team needs to be have their hands held or be coached with kid gloves. So we need to get back to that smash mouth football, the culture, and especially the coaching. That's what's been definitely missing. Of course, the talent, but the coaching is part of why we've been losing in the basement of the NFL for so long. The only 2 other coaches that I can think of that was like no nonsense, no BS is George Halas, the original owner of the Chicago Bears, and Lovie Smith. They had their players playing for them. And also Mike Dicker. I don't want to forget about him as well. They didn't tolerate no mess, no half-stepping, and it's just like if you want to be out there half-assing, they make your ass ride the pot and put the next guy in and get your reps. Don't matter if you're making $100 million or not, though. This culture, I'm glad they're being hard on these guys, though. I really am. We need to keep it up, and hopefully it'll raise up the level of these players, what it seems like it's doing. But we don't need to be thinking about, we're not coaching soft. Gone are that soft coaching. Those days are done with. This is a brand new era of Chicago Bears football. But once again, fellas, congrats on the 20K. Keep doing what you do. Chicago up, Bear down. I'll holler at y'all on the next one.
Anyone comparing or saying that coaching is being too hard needs to shut the fuck up. Real, just to be frank, shut the entire fuck up. That's what I need to say. You can't complain that this Bears team has had no backbone, no identity, no culture, and then bitch, whine, and complain because of coaches. Shut the fuck up. Not Milton, but anybody crying about that. Shut the fuck up, because that's stupid. Like, look at some of the greatest coaches in NFL history, and even then, it's not like Ben Johnson's out there smacking people around on the face mask or pulling them by the face. Like, calm down. We live in too soft of an era. It's way too soft around this motherfucker. So no, I'm glad that Ben Johnson's come in and coached hard, because that's how you pressure. It either bursts pipes or makes diamonds. And that's just my standpoint on it. But you guys can let me know how you feel on that and everything that you heard on today down below. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.